She framed me and sent me to jail. So I married her just to destroy her life. I trusted her with everything. She gave me a prison cell in return. Years later, she said, "I miss us." So I gave her a wedding ring, then took everything she had. You ever have someone look you in the eye, say "I love you," kiss your forehead, then frame you for a crime you didn't commit and watch you get dragged away in handcuffs? Yeah, that happened to me. And it all started because I fell in love with the wrong person. Let's rewind. Her name was Rachel, and if you saw her, you'd understand how I got in this mess. She wasn't just hot. She had that magnetic charm. Like, she could walk into a room and everyone would shift a little just to be in her orbit. We met at a friend's housewarming party. I had just gotten a promotion at work, felt good, was a little drunk, and there she was. Tight red dress, messy curls, loud laugh. I was done for in seconds. We started dating a week later. The first year? Amazing. She was fun, flirty, always full of surprises. Sex? Incredible. Vibes? On point. Fights? Barely any. She was too chill for drama. At least, that's what I thought. She moved in after 6 months. I was hesitant. We were still young, both in our mid-20s, but she insisted. Said rent was killing her. She wanted to save up, and she loved being around me. So yeah, I let her move in. Even added her name to the lease. My first big mistake. Things started getting weird around the 1-year mark. She got distant, but in sneaky ways. I'd find her texting in the bathroom at 2 a.m. She'd say it was her cousin from out of town. She started hanging out with coworkers I'd never heard of. And she got real protective over her phone, like turning the screen away from me even if I wasn't looking. One night, I asked her directly, "Are you seeing someone else?" She gave me the sweetest laugh, kissed me, and said, "Babe, if I was, you'd be the last to know." I thought she was joking. Fast forward a month later. I'm getting ready for work, about to head out the door, when I hear a knock. Police. They have a warrant. They say they got a tip that I'm hiding drugs in my car. I laugh. I literally laugh. I've never even smoked weed in my life. But they search it anyway. And guess what they find? Cocaine. Stuffed under the passenger seat in a Ziploc bag. Neatly sealed. Too neat. I go cold. I start stuttering, trying to explain that I don't know where that came from. But they cuff me right there on the sidewalk. Rachel? She's standing in the doorway in her bathrobe, hand over her mouth like she's shocked. I still remember her eyes, though. Wide, yes, but not surprised. And definitely not sad. The trial was fast. My public defender was garbage, the charges were stacked, and the coke magically had my fingerprints on the bag. Duh, it was in my car. Of course I touched it. 12 months in county jail. I kept thinking, this has to be a mistake. Rachel will fix this. She knows I'm innocent. She visited me once. Once. She sat across from me with her arms crossed and said, "You were doing drugs behind my back? After everything I did for you." That's when I knew. She set me up. I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't even cry. I just sat in that shitty little bunk bed for weeks, replaying everything. The texts. The late nights. The lease. She wanted me out so she could keep the apartment, and she didn't even have the guts to break up with me. She needed me gone. And that's when the idea first entered my head. I wasn't gonna rot in here and let her walk away like nothing happened. She wanted to take my life? Cool. I'd take hers. But piece by piece. And the best part? She'd never see it coming. You ever hear people say, jail changes you? Yeah, that's not just a dramatic line in a movie. It's a fact. Before all this, I was just some regular dude. Worked in tech, wore hoodies to brunch, thought being nice would protect me. Thought love meant trust. Thought people wouldn't burn you unless you deserved it. Well, I didn't deserve it. And I still got torched. So yeah, prison changed me. And not in the, I joined a gang and shanked someone kind of way. In a quieter, more dangerous way. It made me patient. The first couple weeks were hell. Constant noise. Terrible food. Nobody you can trust. Time crawled like it had no legs. But then I met this guy. Name was Mark, ex-lawyer turned felon, long story, tax fraud. He was sharp, older, didn't talk much unless you had something real to say. He saw I wasn't like the others, not hardened, not dumb, not violent. Just angry. One day, he slid a tray of mashed potatoes my way and said, "You want revenge? Start learning how the world really works." That man taught me more than I learned in 4 years of college. He taught me about money, about legal loopholes, about human psychology. He showed me how narcissists operate, How people like Rachel always leave trails behind, no matter how careful they are. And most importantly, how to weaponize forgiveness. He said, people lower their guard when they think you've moved on. That's when you hit them. That line, it became my religion. I got out 10 months later on good behavior. Nobody picked me up. No friends, no family. My brother let me crash at his place out of pity, but he looked at me like I was radioactive. Rachel? She had completely vanished. I tried to go back to the apartment. Turns out she had taken over the lease, switched the locks, changed the name on the mailbox. Everything I'd built. Gone. Her Instagram? Full of beach pics, champagne, new handbags. New boyfriend, too. Tall guy. Probably richer than me. There was this one photo. Her on a boat, smiling so hard it made my blood boil. Caption said, sometimes you have to remove the poison from your life to start healing two hearts. She was calling me the poison. I almost punched a hole through my screen. But I didn't. Instead, I did what Mark taught me. I shut up. I focused. I built. Got a job at a freelance cybersecurity firm. Not glamorous, but it paid. Started working out daily. Nothing crazy, just getting sharp again. Read books. Stacked cash. Upgraded my wardrobe. Learned how to spot people like her from a mile away. And in the background, I watched her. Every time she changed jobs, I took notes. Every guy she dated, I dug up what I could. Every fake smile on social media, I screenshotted it. I became obsessed, but not in a pathetic way. I didn't miss her. I didn't want her back. I just wanted to build the perfect ending. A finale so brutal, so surgical, she'd never see sunlight the same way again. 2 years later, I was a different person. Stronger, smarter, scarred, but in the best way. And guess what? Rachel had just gone through a messy breakup. Her new boyfriend cheated on her with a fitness model. Publicly, she posted this long, emotional caption about healing and trusting again. That's when I slid back into her life. All I said was, hey, I'm sorry how everything ended. I hope you're okay. And like a moth to a flame, she came back. You ever watch a mouse walk straight into a trap, thinking it found dinner? Yeah, that was Rachel. Only she wasn't chasing cheese. She was chasing closure. When I messaged her after 2 years of radio silence, I expected her to either block me or curse me out. Instead, she replied in under 5 minutes. Hey, wow, I didn't think you'd ever talk to me again. She tried to play it cool, but I could tell she was a little shaken. Curious. Probably even nervous. I let the message sit unread for a day, then dropped a reply that felt humble, harmless, and open-ended. Took me a while to stop being angry. I don't want to carry that forever. Boom. Hook set. She responded immediately. We started messaging back and forth. At first it was light, small talk, updates, the usual "how have you been" garbage. She told me she was working in real estate now. Said things had been rough lately. A few bad relationships. Stress. I told her I was freelancing in IT, keeping things simple. No big details. Let her fill in the gaps with whatever fantasies she wanted. That's the thing about people like Rachel. They'll believe anything if it makes them feel like they're still winning. A week later, we agreed to meet. We chose a cafe we used to go to when we were dating. I could see her scanning me up and down when I walked in. I was in a tailored coat, new haircut, looking sharper than she remembered. Wow, she said. You look really good. I smiled and said, prison food. Works wonders. She laughed nervously, like she wasn't sure if I was kidding or not. Over coffee, we talked for hours. She said she regretted a lot of things. She never admitted anything, of course. Never said she framed me. But she kept circling the topic. I wasn't in a good place back then. I didn't know how to handle things. I think I pushed away the only real person who ever loved me. Disgusting. But I nodded, sipped my drink, said, it's all water under the bridge. That's when she reached across the table and touched my hand. I knew right then, this wasn't going to be hard. She missed the security, the comfort, the feeling of someone orbiting around her. She thought I came back because I wanted her. No, sweetheart. I came back to end you. Within a month, we were talking seriously. She told her friends we were reconnecting. Some of them were suspicious. Apparently, one even told her, he's probably still pissed. Rachel shrugged it off. Said I was a changed man. Said people heal. Spoiler alert, they don't. They just get better at hiding their wounds. Soon enough, we were back together. I made sure she felt like she was in control. She picked the dates, the pace, the tone. I let her think she was setting the rhythm. Meanwhile, I was digging. Found her passwords. accessed her email, pulled her financials. She wasn't doing well. Credit card debt, unpaid taxes, living paycheck to paycheck, but still clinging to that girl boss image on Instagram like her life depended on it. She was ripe for the picking. That's when I started laying the real groundwork. I told her I was starting a new company, freelance security consulting, high-end clients, big money. I showed her fake spreadsheets, mocked up a website, even had fake investor emails. Told her I wanted her to be part of it. Not just emotionally, financially. She loved that. Said it made her feel like we were building something together. Told her friends I was so ambitious and driven. Meanwhile, I was funneling all her money into shell companies I controlled. Not much, just enough to make her feel invested. Every day, she fell deeper into the trap. Every smile, every kiss, I'm so glad we found each other again. It all added fuel to the fire I was building under her feet. And then came the big moment. I proposed. I know what you're thinking, dude. Marriage? Seriously? Yeah. I went full commitment. Bought a ring, got down on one knee, did the whole damn performance. Why? Because Rachel never expected revenge to come in a tuxedo. She cried, said yes, posted it on Instagram within the hour. Caption: sometimes life gives you second chances with the right person. She had no idea that the right person was about to become her worst nightmare. Weddings are weird. Everyone thinks it's the start of something beautiful, full of love and laughter and growing old together. Mine? It was the beginning of a very quiet war. The kind where only one side knows it's even happening. The wedding was perfect, on the outside. Cute little garden venue. Fairy lights. White roses. Soft jazz. Rachel wore this sleek white dress with a slit. Everyone was complimenting her like she was a goddess. She ate it up, obviously. She kissed me like she loved me. She cried during her vows. She looked at me like I was her forever. And all I could think was, damn, you really believe this is real, don't you? After the honeymoon, which I paid for, thank you very much, out of a dummy account I'd been feeding for months, life settled into a rhythm. And that's when the real work began. See, now that we were married, everything I needed access to, legally accessible, joint bank accounts, shared credit, signatures on investment documents. It was all just paperwork now. And Rachel, being Rachel, didn't bother reading the fine print. I started small. Got her to sign off on a business account I said was for expenses. Transferred a chunk of our joint savings into it. Used that to open another account she didn't know about. Then created a fake investor identity, complete with LinkedIn, email, even a burner phone. And then told her, they want to back us, but we need to show personal buy-in. 10K minimum. Can you help? She didn't even blink. A few weeks later, she dropped the money into the business fund. I transferred it, closed the account, disappeared the paper trail. That was the first hit. Small, fast, untraceable. She never noticed. And even if she did, she trusted me. I was her husband now, her second chance, her safe place. God, the irony. But I wasn't done. I started isolating her socially, subtly. Told her her friends were negative, always judging us. Suggested she block her ex on everything, just to focus on us. Encouraged her to quit her toxic job, where, by the way, she was about to be fired anyway. I may have nudged that along, a fake email, a few rumors, you get the idea. She was now jobless, drifting from her friends, totally dependent on me financially, exactly where I wanted her. Then I gave her a new opportunity. Told her I was building an app, something to help freelancers manage clients. Said we should launch it together. She'd be the co-founder, the face of the brand. She loved the idea. Started making TikToks about our startup journey. Meanwhile, I was funneling all her remaining money, what little savings she had left, into fake marketing campaigns, ad buys, and developer retainers. All of it. Fake. Fabricated. Gone. By month 6, she was flat broke. Savings? Drained. Credit cards? Maxed. Bank account? In the red. But I played dumb. Kept the act up. Told her the app just needed more time. That our angel investor wanted one last push before full launch. She cried in bed one night, holding on to me like a lifeline. Said she was scared. Said she didn't know how things got so hard so fast. I stroked her hair and whispered, "It's okay. I've got you. We're in this together." I wanted to laugh so bad, but I held it in. The final nail? Her reputation. See, remember that folder I'd built years ago? screenshots, old texts, private pics, voice notes. Well, I decided to go nuclear. I sent an anonymous tip to her old company's HR, told them she'd been trash-talking management on social media under a burner account, which I created using her old passwords. They flagged her LinkedIn and blacklisted her in their network. I leaked some spicy old photos to a couple of influencer gossip pages. Nothing illegal, just enough to hint at some questionable behavior from her early 20s. And I sent one beautifully worded email to her new potential employer, a job she was desperate for, claiming she had a history of unstable business dealings, and linked her to a failed startup, ours. Job offer. Gone. She broke down. Fully. Cried for hours. Locked herself in the bathroom one night and didn't come out until morning. She told me, "I don't know what's happening. It's like everything's falling apart." I hugged her and said, "We'll get through this. Together." And inside, I was screaming, "No, Rachel. You'll go through this. Alone." The thing about revenge is, if you do it right, you don't need to lift a finger when the final blow lands. They ruin themselves trying to figure out what the hell happened. And that's exactly what was about to happen to Rachel. By now, she was running on fumes. Her account was drained. Her credit cards were locked. Her phone screen was cracked. The girl who used to flaunt designer heels and bottomless brunches was now crying over overdraft fees and ramen. She kept saying things like, "I don't understand how it got this bad so fast. Maybe I'm cursed. What if I'm not meant to be successful?" I just kept nodding and offering fake comfort. Meanwhile, I was preparing the final exit. First thing I did, ghosted the investor. She'd been obsessed with the idea that this mysterious angel investor would finally fix everything. He'd never spoken to her directly, only through me. That was on purpose. I created fake email threads, set up fake conference calls where I just played both sides. Yeah, it was a lot of work, but worth every second. I told her the investor pulled out. He said we look too unstable right now. Said you're not qualified to lead the brand. She lost it. Screamed at me. Cried. Started blaming herself. That's what I wanted, for her to feel like she was the one who ruined it all. Then I pulled the rug completely. One night, I said I had to go out of town for a few days. Client meeting, big deal, whatever. Packed a small bag, kissed her on the forehead, and walked out the door. She texted me the next day. I didn't reply. Next day? Nothing. A week went by. Then two. She started calling. Dozens of missed calls. Voicemails ranging from, "Please just tell me you're okay," to, "Why the F **K are you doing this to me?" I never answered. While she spiraled, I was already gone. I transferred the last of her investment funds out of the dummy LLC account and closed it. I wiped all traces of the fake business, deleted the app prototype site, killed the fake investor socials, and torched the paper trail. She had no proof I stole anything. No receipts. No witnesses. And remember, we were married. All those transfers? Legal. She signed everything. I sent the divorce papers in the mail. No note. No explanation. Just a clean, cold envelope. She tried to fight it. Messaged me from burner numbers, emailed from new accounts, even showed up at my brother's place once. I was long gone. She begged, pleaded, screamed. But the thing about someone like Rachel, they don't cry because they loved you. They cry because they lost control of you. And it gets better. Her social life? Gone. I'd already poisoned the well. Those friends who used to envy her, they now saw her as a train wreck. A liar. A scammer. Turns out no one wants to hang out with someone who's building the next big thing one day and living off cup noodles the next. Her family? Done. She borrowed money from her mom and never paid it back. Her sister blocked her after Rachel missed her kid's birthday for a fake pitch meeting I'd made up. She was alone. Exactly like I was the day she let me rot behind bars. A friend of mine, okay, not a friend, just someone I bribed online, sent me a screenshot one day. Rachel had posted a story. "Be careful who you trust. Some people smile while they destroy you." I smiled, because she finally got it. You know how most revenge stories end with a dramatic confrontation? A screaming match? Someone getting exposed in front of a crowd? Nah, that's not how this ends. Because real revenge? It ends in silence. It's been almost a year since I vanished from Rachel's life. Last I heard, she was living in a tiny studio apartment above a nail salon. She drives Uber on weekends. Deleted all her socials. No more luxury brunches. No boss babe quotes. No inspirational stories. Just gone. I still get the occasional email, usually some half-broken apology like, I know I messed up. I wish things could have been different. Or, please just tell me why you did this. But I never answer. She doesn't get to have closure. Just like I didn't get to have justice. I didn't do this to win her back. Didn't do it because I missed her. Didn't do it for drama or applause or some twisted power trip. I did it because she left me for dead. She planted drugs in my car. Let me go to jail. Let me rot while she lived like nothing happened. And all I wanted back then was for the pain to stop. Now, I don't feel pain anymore. I feel peace. I live in Portugal now. Switch my name. Got a small place by the ocean. Do remote work. Nothing flashy, just quiet, clean, and far away. I wake up early, walk to a little cafe near my street, and sip espresso while the world goes by. No chaos. No noise. No pretending. Just peace. And sometimes, while I'm staring at the water, I think about Rachel. Not with hate. Not even with anger. Just a smirk. Because some people spend their whole lives burning bridges, and then act surprised when no one's coming to save them. She built her own hell. I just held the match.